happy with Macca's coffee?
Yeah, mate. I'll drink whatever. It's the worst. Look, I've had worse, but it's definitely not the greatest.
I don't know if you have. Well, Lewis, welcome to Christians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Thanks, Ardin. Pleasure to be here.
Having fun so far?
So far, so good.
People we've spoke to so far
Mm.
have kind of grown up in Christian homes, you know, being Christians for a long time, but it's all fairly fresh for you.
Yeah. So one day last year, talking to a friend, and a bit of a long last year for me, and I just asked, hey, can I come to church with you one day? And funnily enough, she said yes. And then rocked up to this sermon, and they said, was talking about what is faith. First day of the topic, first thing, and Jonathan's comes across big words, you know, what is faith? And I was kind of like, ooh, this is interesting. 2019 was a rough year. I mean, look, 2020 has been pretty bad for everyone else.
Let's just start again.
But for me, it's been not too bad, considering, I guess. I was always just trying to fulfill myself. Like, I was homeless at one stage last year.
Yeah, wow.
I was just trying anything to make myself happy. I was, like I said, I'd go out and binge drink with mates. I'd just try anything to feel that hole of loneliness that I thought I had. And said just talking to Sarah every now and then. One day she was wearing this youth anchored shirt, and I had a Hebrews quote on it. I can't remember the quote.
Because you guys were studying together.
That's correct, yes. Same degree. She didn't come to uni too often, but...
she's slack.
Yeah, not slack.
Did things change for you? Did you feel the difference?
I definitely felt the difference. So, funnily enough, the first time I was chatting to Jonathan about it, and he said, be careful this next couple of weeks. You're gonna get some attacks coming your way. And I was like, all right, cool, sure. About a week or two after it all happened, I had lost a good mate from my old workplace. He passed away fairly young, and wasn't an overly religious funeral. Actually, it wasn't a religious funeral at all. But one moment they had the Lord's Prayer come on, and at this moment I was crying the whole way through the service, and the Lord's Prayer came on, and I felt this overwhelming sense of just calm and peace, and I was just like, oh, whoa, it just like washed over me, and I'm like, that's something completely different I've never felt before.
What does giving your life to Jesus mean? What's it meant for you?
It's meant peace for me, and like for me the best way to put it is, it's like I've put on a jersey for a team, and I know the captain's got my back at all times. Like, the guy can tell me, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is going to seem insane, but trust me, this is going to work.
What's been the favourite part of the journey so far?
Oh, my baptism, for sure.
Yep.
For sure. I've never felt such energy in my entire life. Gave my testimony similar to what I'm doing now, I suppose. And like after I came out of that water, man, I just have never felt such love, energy, and peace in my life. Like I felt like I could have run a marathon maybe 3 times over in about 20 minutes, but physically probably not. Spiritually, I could have.
That would be a world record.
It would be.
You'd be very famous.
And it carried over for like 2 weeks. Like the energy just kept carrying on. I was like, yeah, this is amazing. It's definitely the highlight for me, for sure.
You were homeless last year for a time.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Interesting. It was not fun, and it was scary to ask for help. Because I didn't want them to stop coming to me for help if they needed it. I didn't want to be that, oh, you can't give help because you need help. So I was just trying to stick things out on my own, and I slept in the uni library a few weeks there. Beanbags, it wasn't all bad, but it was lonely. It was a very, very lonely time.
So looking back, do you see God at all in, like, you remember things, you remember situations, do you see him working in those?
I think so, yeah. Like, I would have had, like, would I have come to church last year if it wasn't the worst year of my life? Probably not.
You said that first time you went to church, you said Jonathan spoke about faith.
Yeah.
Was there a particular thing he said, or a particular passage from the Bible that just really spoke to you?
Not that first night, no. It's more the community stood out that first night to me. So, like, I walked in really, really early because I'm a pretty punctual guy, and I tend to be a little especially if I felt like a big deal. Like everyone else probably thought, oh, it's just evening church, no big deal. Meanwhile, me, I rocked up half hour early. I was dressed fairly nice. I'm walking in, and Sarah was like notoriously late as per usual, and we'd walk in, and I just didn't know anyone, and I was just really lucky that 2 people came up and just started having chats with me, Dee and Lionel. I'm very blessed with that. They really helped. And then throughout the service, it was the big "what is faith" kind of mention. Like when he said that, it was like the first words Jonathan said. I was like, oh, okay, is this directed at me? Did this all get changed? Like what's happened here? Everyone there that night was just so friendly, and then I had dinner with these 2 families, and then Jonathan turned up, the pastor turned up to this dinner, and I'm like, oh no, like he's gonna look at me and recognize all the sin I've done.
You're gonna see it to your soul.
Yeah, he's just gonna look and see everything. And then I ended up chatting about American sports with the bloke for a good half an hour, taking over the conversation.
I'm still terrified of it.
Yeah, fair. Like that accent scares the Jesus out of you. Jonathan mentioned it. Do you not? I can't remember the exact verse. It's one thing I'm working on is, but do you not celebrate and rejoice when you bring that one sheep back into the flock? And like that was like a really cool resonating thing for me. And that the fact that and when my baptism happened, when I was brought back into that flock officially, like it seemed like a big celebration that night to me, and it was really, really beautiful.
Well, Lewis Jones, thank you for joining us for Christians in Cars with Coffee.
Thanks for having me, Ardin. It was a pleasure.
Did you have fun?
Anytime.
Had a good time?
Yeah, I had a really good time.
You got stuck into Sarah for a bit.
I did.
You're going to be paying for that.
Probably.
Thank you. Normally use my phone to pay for stuff, but it's indisposed.
Is it? What happened to it?
It's there.
Oh.